Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Chris. How are you this morning?
I'm here.
Got to have a little more time to wake up.
We went out to the high school dance showcases last night, and all of these students did amazing performances. Like students choreographed this whole thing. And
Oh, really?
We went there to see some of our youth who are in it, and I'll tell you, it's exhausting just watching them for like an hour and a quarter, and all these. There must have been a dozen different songs and all these pieces, and people are like doing ballet and jazz and hip hop, and I'm just like. At one point, I leaned over to Joelle. I'm like, "Are you going to do this next year?" Actually, it was as we were leaving. I'm like, "So when you get to high school, are you going to?" She's like, "Well, I don't want to do PE, so I guess so." Anyways, so it was a really fun night, but it was also just kind of like,
Is you recovering?
I didn't even dance.
Go
figure,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Just like,
yeah,
man.
just in your head, hey.
Watching all that.
So you need a coffee.
Maybe
coffee
in my
time,
sleep,
so,
I was dancing all through my sleep, and
Yeah, Sheena will tell you later. Man, you were tossing and turning a lot. Anyways, it's good to be together, and we're glad to be with you. And we just want to look back and say, hey, what happened on Sunday and what's coming up? So on Sunday, we looked at Ecclesiastes chapter 4, and Ecclesiastes 4 opens, as a lot of Ecclesiastes does, quite in a depressing way. The teacher looks out and he sees oppression everywhere, and he's like, over there, there's oppression, and nobody to comfort them. And over there, there's oppression, and nobody to comfort them. And then he just looks at it. He forces us to look at it. And we kind of moved past it on Sunday because we wanted to get to what he said about it. But it is good just to pause and say, there's oppression all over the world, and it's awful. And if we do look at it for a long time, we will get depressed. And like he said, it would be better not to be born, because to be here is we live in this kind of world. But then he gets to why. And he's like, I kind of feel like he's like saying, it's not just out there. Look right here. It's envy in the heart. And he's talking about something that we all have, this envious nature. I look at you and I say, oh man, you're tall. I'm going to be tall. So I push you down in order to get up, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the idea, right? Yeah. How could I push somebody else down to get higher up and to be better? And it's envy. It's looking at the other person and wanting what they have rather than being thankful for what we do have. And he kind of comes to a middle ground. He says, instead of entering the rat race and trying to be better than everybody else or get as much as everybody else and try to have both hands full, or just giving up and saying, oh, it's worthless, whatever, and being selfish that way, he's like, there's a middle ground, and that's to hold in one hand enough, and then have the other hand free to partner up with other people, to hold somebody else's hand and to be together in it. And the whole idea is 2 are better than 1 and 3 are better than 2, and he could go on because community is better. So we talked about the redwoods, how they link arms under or link roots. Like we would link arms, and so it was just a really good passage. I don't know, do you have thoughts?
It's also really challenging because, like you said, like there's that sense of like oppression, and like it draws us to that sense of sadness, but also even your pushing down thing, it's not just me feeling pushed down, but it's also like there's an issue that you end up facing as well too, because it actually is detrimental for you to be pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, because I think the passage says you also find yourself alone.
You get to the top and then like, well, what good is this?
There's nobody there, and on top of that, you're forgotten because you just oppressed everybody else. And you know how sad it is when somebody falls down and you have nobody there to catch them or to help them back up, right? And I pray that we don't get to those points, but like, you know, it has a lot more to do with, like what you said, it has a lot more to do with what's on the inside, and when that inside is unchecked, it actually begins to come out, right?
Yeah, it really does make us look at ourselves, doesn't it?
What's interesting to me in this is that these are not themes unique to Ecclesiastes.
Yeah,
Right?
true.
The prophets write about oppression. The Psalms even talk about oppression. And every biblical writer who tackles it, it's in a different way. And often it's crying out to God, God, why are you allowing this to happen?
Yeah.
And in Ecclesiastes, it's kind of more like, it's going to happen. Like, here's a different reason for it.
Yeah.
And instead of just blaming God, it's almost like, actually, there's something more proactive we could do. Which makes me think about, actually, the Israelites in the wilderness and collecting the manna, right? When they went out and gathered too much, what happened? Well, it just rotted.
Yeah.
But what else happened? If I gather too much, well, there might be someone who doesn't gather enough.
Yeah.
And yet, God's going to make sure they've got enough. But yet, my extra is rotten. And sometimes I wonder how much God just kind of goes, I'm going to take care of these other people because my people aren't, or whatever.
Yeah.
And when we see oppression, I think what the writer of Ecclesiastes is almost just saying is, you might be able to do something about that.
Yeah.
And give yourself a little
Yeah.
check.
Yeah. It's interesting. He's contrasting the goodness of what Genesis 1 and 2 were supposed to be about, like creation, with the realities of Genesis 3. And he kind of goes back and forth, right? Like, God has given us good, so enjoy that. He has given us some community, so enjoy that. Like, the good is still there, even amidst the messiness and grossness of Genesis chapter 3, which is, when we humans chose to go their own way. And here's all the results of it.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating book. Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. You just said something off camera that was meant to be on. That
My yo-yo ma joke?
no. It was about it kind of encapsulated.
Yeah.
And I forget what you exactly said. Do you remember?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we look at in these themes that come out of Ecclesiastes, right? The last chapter was about what time is it for?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And
right.
or like there's a season for everything. And as we look now, it's more about like, what are we holding on to? Are we holding on to too much? Do we have any of our hands open? Are we letting go of anything? Are we grasping for new things? And we see that grasping. It's interesting walking with people over the years. Often you see that when the thing they want most in life, they kind of loosen up their grip on it a little bit. That's often when people find it.
Yeah.
And so when it's their career or a relationship or whatever, right? The answer to the next thing, and they're so frantic in it, when they just kind of loosen a little bit, they tend to find it.
Yeah.
And with all of those thoughts swirling around, what kind of leads me back to is that old question of like, what is this time for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which I think is kind of that question that bridges chapter 3 and chapter 4 of like, so is it a time for this? What should I be holding on to right now? What should I be pursuing right now?
Yeah.
What should I be letting go of right now?
Yeah.
And even like the fact that we believe that this kind of coming from Solomon, I mean, it's the teacher, but if it was Solomon, how much is enough, right? He was one of those people who kind of is the epitome of it's never enough.
Yeah.
You have to have more, you have to have more, you have to have more. Like, it's
Yeah,
never
save some
enough.
wives for the rest of
So
us.
so then the question is, like, in all of that, what is this time for, but also how much is enough? How full do my hands have to be? Or even like, what do I really need? If I sit down sometimes and ask myself that question, I find myself in the same place that Paul did when he was in prison, like house arrest, and said, I actually am content. Like, I've had lots, I've had little. I actually don't need really anything, right? And I think that's kind of the amazing thing about the gospel is that, like, what we truly need is to understand that God loves us and God died for us, yes, but like, do we really need a lot of other things other than that? You know, there's not a lot that I need to fill my hands up with that I really need. There's joy in everything, but how much do I really need?
Yeah, and I mean, Paul would say, if you read Philippians, the gospel, it's the good news of Jesus. That is the thing to fill and to fill and to keep, inviting more and more, because that's what God wants, is more people in his kingdom, right? So the gospel, the good news of Jesus, how do we proclaim that and how we live and what we say? That's the good news, which saves us from this, the terrible fall of Genesis 3, right?
Yeah.
So,
Or even later on in the chapter when it's talking about the two together, right? Like two people are always much stronger than just one on its own. Thinking about that thought of like the hands being full, right? Like if I grab 2 handfuls and Jeff gets none, then I go it alone with everything
Yeah.
and realize that I actually don't have everything. But could you imagine if I had 1 handful, Jeff has 1 handful,
Yeah.
now we're a team.
You can tackle
Now
more,
we're able to do almost double, and like I think it has just these word pictures abound,
Yep.
and I love that we actually do need each other, and the way that we get that is actually realizing that I don't need everything,
yeah.
but I'm so benefited from the people around me who can join in life with me, right?
Well, and it does challenge a belief that many people have, that all I need is Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus is all you need, but he gives us each other to live in that need. So like this community is part of the gospel. The gospel brought peace between us and him, not just me and him, but us and him. And so we are in this together. And the gospel is a communal thing, right? So yeah, it's good. Chris,
Yes.
there is a lot going on.
We are
In
in,
the next little bit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, can you tell us about it?
Our hands are full in a different way. As our room empties out, our hearts fill. So no, we have on Friday night, we have a Friday, the last one of the school year. So grades like 3 to 6, come on out here, Friday night, 6:30. We're going to play some games together, we're going to share devotional, we're going to have some fun, we're going to build relationships and connection, especially for those who are in grade 6, because like they're 3 weeks away from coming to youth group.
Oh, that's
Right?
exciting.
I know one grade 6 who's super excited and
Yeah.
has friends who are
great.
excited. So it's good. It's great. But that's Friday night first. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. School's still on. Friday night, 6:30. Come on out for Friday.
Yeah. And then there was something else.
Right, yes. July 1st is Canada Day. And we have the West Kelowna Family Canada Day, Kids Zone, everything going on down in the park. Behind the Johnson Bentley there, out on the field. We're going to be there with a whole lot of other community groups, but we are bringing bubbles. Because we need a little joy, a little levity, a little fun, and we'd invite you to, if you've got an hour or two to help out with that, let me know. It's only a 4-hour event, but we'd love to have a few people kind of come in and out. And all you do is you come, make sure you're wearing sunscreen, and then just blow bubbles with kids.
Yep. Yep.
It's not a
Very fun.
complicated thing, but it's super. Last year was so fun.
And it's not just kids.
That's very
There's
true.
Lots of ages coming
Kids
around.
at heart,
you know?
sometimes
Yeah,
parents,
yeah.
sometimes
Bring up
teenagers,
kids,
all
hearts,
sorts of people will
hearts.
stop by.
Yeah,
We'll just have a little bit of fun with them.
that's great. And there's one more thing that you were going to tell us about coming up in
Yes, July 13th to 16th is VBS. Registration is open. Links are in the email and all over the place. You can find it on our website. We'd love to have kids, those who have just finished kindergarten, all the way through to those who just finished grade 6. And it is 4 mornings of just day camp fun. We're gonna, share biblical teaching, have a lot of fun and games, and hang out, and it'll be a great week.
It's good, yeah. And the cool thing about that is that this is the same stuff that you're bringing to Romania.
Yeah, by and large, yeah,
A few weeks
absolutely.
later, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
our Romania team is
Yeah.
we're all over this. It's great. The theme is focus because we want to focus on God, and so it's pretty good.
It's really great, yeah. Come to help and to find out what's going to be happening in Romania too. Like there's a bunch of reasons to go. Kevin, you were going to tell us about something as well.
Yeah, so this coming Sunday, we're going to do a picnic in the park. So following the service, just head down to the park and down to Gladly Nut Farm and join in the fun, and we will hang out there for a little bit. Bring your own stuff, all of this stuff that's kind of on the screen, and we'll just kind of hang out in the park and enjoy the sunshine, and it'll be a wonderful day.
So lots of fun coming up. Hope that you're enjoying June, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Have a great week.